I'm a 26-year-old female. I'm half Kenyan, half Japanese, with my late father being Japanese and my mother being Kenyan, Luya. Unfortunately, my father passed away when I was about 2 years old, so I never really met him, but we do hang out with his sister, who lives here in Kenya. I'm not really writing for a particular reason, but I've noticed a few things. A. People assume I don't speak Kiswahili. Bro, sis, mi ni mwenyeji, isinyone hivi hivi. B. Some business people, especially Matumba guys, assume they can rip me off. I remember going to town and wanting a really nice jacket. Women's clothes are generally much cheaper than men's clothes, especially secondhand. The guy wanted to sell me a jacket that couldn't have been worth more than 600 for a whopping 5K. It was honestly amusing. I have other incidences, but this is the only one that comes to mind. C. I used to get special treatment in primary/high school. People would treat me like an egg, and I hated it. It felt almost condescending sometimes. D. People assume I'm rich. I'm not. Apart from having a car, Mambo Kinaniramba with the high cost of living, I'm not safe from Zacchaeus' wrath. E. I've witnessed men who have made lewd sexual remarks in front of me about me, in Kiswahili, thus assuming that IDK what they are saying. Commenter 1. First off, mostly really creepy comments so far. I can feel the stares through the internet. Demonstrates point E. Well, my kids are mixed and we have to defend them from B. I'm glad you haven't had a worse experience than being treated like an egg. My kids hate going to the village because the village children there are so rude. Adults are often rude as well, staring, etc. But at least they don't try to touch you, usually, or taunt you. I guess it's to be expected because there are so few foreigners in Kenya, and mixed-race people are so rare. A small fraction of a percent of the general population. Kenyan people are wonderful, and it's not enough to dissuade me, but never being able to fit in is the biggest drawback of living in Kenya for me. You should visit a place like New York City if you are able. It's one of the largest population centers in the world, close to 20 million in the metropolitan area, and well over a third of the people living there were not born in the U.S. The taboo against mixed-race relationships is almost completely gone in that area of the U.S. Around 1 in 10 people in the U.S. is mixed race. However, the proportion is probably double that in New York. And the rates are even higher if you look at births. You could say the proportion is similar to the proportion of Kenyan that are Kikuyu. So, just like no one is surprised to meet a Kikuyu in Kenya, no one is surprised to meet a mixed-race person in New York. There are only a few places in the world that are like this, and New York is the most racially, ethnically diverse city in the world. Commentator 2. There are not few foreigners in Kenya. Skin color or race doesn't classify you as a foreigner. But I get what you mean, and as a black foreigner, I just think Kenyan need to be more self-aware. Just because I am black, it doesn't make me a Kenyan, and there are many of us, commenter 3. I just meant that there are few comparable to the U.S. The Kenya census put the foreign-born population at around 2%. The U.S. census put theirs at around 13.6%. Greater New York is particularly diverse, though, and it's over 30% foreign-born. Also, most of the foreign-born population in Kenya is from neighboring countries, whereas in the U.S., the population is from all over the world. Commenter 4. Bro Samloel, but as a guy it's easier. Chicks like you more for the most part, and them assuming you're rich doesn't hurt either. Lakini hapo kwa shopping, inabidi utembina mask na kofia ndio usigongwebe. Ama uende na your friend, ikai kama unamsindikisha tulo commenter. 4. I'm sure those ignorant people are very embarrassed when you respond to them in Kiswahili. I have a friend who's went to China, and they were staring and touching her hair because they don't see black people up close very often. It's some weird natural curiosity, so don't be offended. I fully Kikuyu and live in the States. When I come to Kenya, it's like they can smell it, and I'll get the crazy price quotes in Gikomba. Just continue doing you. Very little you can do to change weird discriminating behavior by others. How many tribal issues, stereotypes do we deal with just among ourselves as Kenyans? Commenter 5. I'm a Mzungu, and I have experienced the overcharging for Matumba. What the sales guys miss is that I spend a fair amount of time in the Middle East and Europe. To be clear, I'm an expat, not Kenyan, and I have a good idea of what something would have cost new, so no, I'm not paying the equivalent of $50 for a Mario onesie. I've taken a passing fancy too. But my housemate just found out that a jacket she bought for 300 bob sells secondhand for up to $1,000. So that's cool.